Welcome to the Art Circle Public Library's Christmas in July. Today we are making a felt wreath, and in your kit you will find 3 strips of different colored felt, a piece of embroidery floss, and a needle. And the first thing you will do when you get your kit is to take the strips and cut them into 1-inch pieces, cutting all the strips until you get them all cut out. After you get your pieces cut into squares, put them onto the needle and thread, one at a time, alternating the colors as you go. Here we have a dark green, we have a light green, and then we have a blue-green. And you will continue alternating your colors until you use all of your squares up.
Alright, after you get all of your squares cut and strewn, they should look something like this. You then take the sides, cross them over, and then pull one side under and through. The way I'm doing it's a bit messy because I'm kind of clumsy today. Then, once you have them crossed over, you pull so that both ends meet, and then you cross one side over the other again. And hopefully not make a mess like I just did. That's alright, I didn't pull it all the way through, which means I can still go back and fix it. It's generally pretty helpful if you can hold as close as possible to your felt squares. The only reason that I have this much thread to go on is because we're going to be using the extra for a hanger. Now that you've got your double knot, you straighten your squares and fluff it up. It might come a little loose at this point, but it's still tied together and still looks fairly decent, in my opinion. Now, to make the bow, you take your long piece and fold it in half on one side, take your glue gun and put a bead of glue in the center and stick down the one side, then stick down the other. Then you take one of your shorter pieces, which are these, and you put it in the direct center. Picked up the wrong one, sorry. Put it in the direct center. Make sure that if you want it to look nice, it will be the front on that side, and then where you glued the base of your bow on that side. Now you put a dot of glue in the center where you glued the folded piece together, and glue the center of your middle piece there, and then glue it again. It's now wrapped around. That is the back, and that is the front. Now you take one of your smaller pieces and putting the bow back on the front side, put glue in the middle and angle your smaller pieces
Onto the back side.
Onto the back side of the bow. It is going to look a little bit messy, but that's because it's the back and won't be seen. That's what the bow looks like when finished. At this point, the hot glue is still hot and will be stringy. Now, we take our bow and we go back to our wreath. We pick up our glue gun, and at the top of the wreath, where we tie the knot, we put glue and then stick the bow on. It's helpful to hold the felt pieces on either side of the wreath as you stick the bow on, otherwise it just kind of caves in. Fluff it up again, go back to the extra thread or yarn or whatever you're using, and use the extra to make your hanger. I still have the needle attached, so it's taking me a little longer. And there we go. We have our hanger. Now you take your scissors and cut the ends of your excess thread. And now your wreath is done.